Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Najwa binti Kamarulzaman, and my supervisor name is Dr. Zulita binti Kadir, and my co-supervisor name is Encik Nazaruddin bin Ismail, which is he is a HSE manager in YTL Construction. And today I'm going to present my project, which is the title is Preliminary Study on the Implementation of ISO 45001-2018 for GEMAS to Johor Bahru Electrified Double Track Project. So I'm going to start my presentation with abstract. So my project is about OSH management system, which is we call it as a ISO 45001-2018, which is a subset of public health that focus on improving workplace health and safety, which is it also examines workers' injury and sickness pattern and make recommendation for reduce the risk and hazard they face on the job. So this study aims is to investigate the readiness of Clause 5, which is leadership, Clause 7, support and operation, which is Clause 8, whether it is ready to implement for ISO 45000-2018 into the GEMAS to Johor Bahru Electrified Double Track Project. For the first objective, which is for the literature review was conducted to investigate ISO 45001-2018 for construction double track project. So, and for the second objective, which is to identify the readiness of ISO 45001 OHSMS certification program implementation for GEMAS to Johor Bahru Electrified Double Track Project. So, in order to achieve the objective, a questionnaire was constructed and disseminated to 30 respondents, which is from the HSE staff. And also, lastly, master work program for expansion scope of certification was developed and proposed to the organisation at the end of this project. So, for second, for the introduction. Okay, so as you can see, there is a map which is it is from GEMAS to JP. It's a project to build a double track electric line connecting the towns of GEMAS in Negeri Sembilan and Johor Bahru in Johor, Malaysia, southernmost state, which is the project management team of GEMAS Johor Bahru Double Track Project (EDTP) with the short form has established and implement the HSE management system based on statement of need SON or addendum to contract document, which is that they want ISO 45001 to be expanded in this project. So this study may benefit the GEMAS to Johor Bahru Electrified Double Track Project in analysing the implement of ISO 45001 and sorry, there is mistake which is mentioned on ISO 45001-2018. And this study will assist this project in identifying, analysing and decreasing operational risk, potentially preventing avoidable incidents. So the study may help to improve the current occupational safety and health of 1994, section 15 to 19 by emphasizing the employer's responsibility. And that's it for the introduction. Next is my literature, which is ISO 45001-2018 implementation in construction railway. For the first, the construction industry are frequently accused for high accident rates and permanent and non-permanent disability and even fatalities based on Hosinian and Togabe in 2020. And also, accidents in the construction industries are a global issue from 2011-2015 based on JOHOR in 2017. And according to Bellal and Mahmood in 2012, accident and injuries in the construction industry can be decreased if companies improve their safety measures. So, according to ISO, organizations who apply the OHSMS standard, which is ISO 45001-2018, are more likely to have lower rates of work-related accidents and fatalities. And also since 2015, which is Nomad is the organization in Europe that is similar with YTL, that is project track for a railway. That organization previously held the ISO, which is previously of SAS 18,001, but now it's ISO 45,001, and continues to drive global compliance from its headquarters in the United Kingdom. And Nomad already had its control and documentation in place since day one to ensure that all employees follow the same safe system of work. So in Nomad, they already implement the 45,001 as of 45,001, and it can be shown and proven that it is a very systematic, which is in terms of documentation also, and also in terms of safety. Okay, next is we go to the methodology, which is for the objective one, that is to investigate ISO 45,001 2018. OHMS certification program for construction double track project, which is the method we do is qualitative, which is qualitative. We do a literature and document review for the objective one, and the data is ISO 45,018 standard and also past literature, and next is objective 2, which is to identify the readiness of ISO 45,000 2018 OHMS certification program implementation for GEMAS to JOHOR BAHRU rectified double track project. For this objective 2, we do a method of quantitative statistical analysis, which is we use SPSS software, and what data we get is a survey data from the questionnaire. And then after that, the answer, the response, we analysis using the SPSS software. And for the objective 3, which is to develop master work program for expansion scope of certification, which is the method we use is brainstorm and also focus group discussion, which is the researcher is discussed with the head of department and also deputy of manager to come out with the master work program. And next we move to the results and discussion. Okay, for the reliability analysis, okay, in that table we can see the reliability for overall respondent was high at 0.9. This can be concluded that the respondents can understand the questionnaire give and overall error rate is the lowest level. Okay, next we see the descriptive analysis for the clause 5, which is leadership. Okay, so with this there is the following research question to investigate the level of readiness of leadership in ISO 45,001. Okay, based on the analysis and the findings from the survey, the level of readiness of class 5 leadership has a high level, which means that the top management on this project has demonstrated leadership and committed with respect to the OHMS management system by taking overall responsibility and accountability for the prevention of work-related injury and ill health. So in table we can see that the value of mean and standard deviation of leadership at high level with the average value of the overall mean being 4.47. So it's considered high. Okay, next we move to the clause 7, which is a support. So this we can see that this project has been ready to implement in terms of clause 7 into ISO 45,001, because based on the respondent has answered the question for clause 7 was high. So which means that the organization on this project has provided the resources needed for the establishment, implementation, maintenance, and continuous improvement of the OSH&S management system. So on this course also included the competence of organization to ensure that the workers are competent based on appropriate education, training or experience. So other than that, to ensure that workers are aware of their contribution to the effectiveness of the OSH&S management system, so we can see that in the table, the value of mean and standard deviation for support at a high level with the average value of the overall mean being 4.54, which is it is considered high. Okay, next we move to the clause act, which is it is an operation. It is this one we can also see that the clause act has a high level, which means that the organization on this project has a plan, implement, control and maintain the processes needed to meet requirements of OSH&S management system and to implement the actions. So on the clause also include the competence of organization and on site has maintaining and retaining documented information to the extent necessary to have confidence that the process have been carried out as planned. So in this table, we can see that the value mean of standard deviation for operation at a high level with the average value of the overall mean being which is a 4.45, which is that is considered high. Okay, next we move to the normality test, which is we use a skewness and kurtosis in the distribution about the mean with while okay, skewness refers to the skewness in the distribution about the mean, while kurtosis refers to the sharpness of the peaks of the distributions. So if the skewness is between 1 and positive 1, it means that the data is normally distributed. Therefore, it is concluded that the leadership support and operation are not normally distributed as shown in table this one. So we can see that the normality test was not that the data are not normal. So in it, because the data was not normal, so the Shapiro-Wilk test was be used to decide whether a sample fit a normal distribution or not. And it usually used for a small sample, which is for me, my sample is 30, which is from the HSC staff. Okay, Shapiro-Wilk test was considered in the research because, as I say, my sample size is 30. Below 50, it considered we need to use the Shapiro-Wilk. Okay, so if P more than 0.05 means that the data is normal. On the other hand, if P was below 0.05 means that the data is not normal. In SPSS, P value are labeled as SIG under Shapiro-Wilk as shown in the table. Okay, so in the table shows that the variation of leadership support are not normal distributed because the p-value is less than 0.05. Meanwhile, operation is normal distributed because the p-value is 0.168. But for the overall data, it's still not normal because it had to be all three sections to be above 0.05. So it can be concluded that the data are not normal distributed. Okay. So for the summary, this study has shown that the level of readiness for leadership, support and operation are ready to implement for ISO 45001-2018 to Kerbans to Johor Bahru Electrified Double Track project, and it has good impact towards safety and health in the workplace. So in conclusion, in the end of this project, I been identified the objective 1 is being achieved because organization can demonstrate compliance with all legal obligations, strict adherence to and enforcement of health and safety best practice, which is for the objective 1, I use I investigate with my literature review, and also documentation review, and also past study. As I investigate, there is many benefit if we implement the SO 45001. So it is highly recommended to implement ISO 45001 2018 to the construction or railway industry such as SPYTL. Also, for the objective number 2, which is to identify the readiness of clause 5 and also clause 7 and also clause 8, and we after with this, I distribute the questionnaire to the 30 HSE staff, and we can see that the top management, organization and workers are ready and give a lot of support to implement the ISO 45 2018. At the end, which is for objective 3, to develop a master work program, which is the researcher, head of HSE and also deputy HSE manager have issued a master work program to be used during implementation of ISO 45001 2018. So it can be considered objective 3 also being achieved. So in the recommendation, I recommend for the further studies focus on the compliance of all clauses in ISO 45 2018, not just limited to clause 5, clause 7 and clause 8, but all clauses, all throughout the clauses of the ISO, we can implement in the ISO 45001. And also, for the recommendation number 2, I recommend to include workshop by DOSH in master work program, which is maybe in the future we can include the workshop into master work program where the HSE staff can also be exposed to the knowledge, also the updates, maybe updated form in terms like hierarchy, maybe there is updated in the form, so we can use the newly updated form, and also we can directly being directly being we can learn directly from the DOSH about the ISO 45000 2018, which is it's more efficient. And for the last recommendation, which is I recommend to digitalize the ISO documentation, which is it will be more easier for the others, and also it can be efficient, because if there is any changes, we can truly can get the new changes, no need to hard copy or anything, and but just update it on the system. Okay, that's all from me. This is my project. Okay, thank you for your attention. Bye bye.